Well, it looks like there's sound. I don't know if anybody's ever going to show up over here. Apparently, when I saved it earlier, like scheduled the live stream, it gives you options for which cameras to use, and apparently I picked the front camera of my laptop and not the cam link that has the camera on it. So when this one was supposed to start, it was looking at the ceiling, which is where the camera and my laptop is currently pointing, because it can fold over, and it has a camera pointing at me, and then the back camera or front camera, whichever one, pointing up. So you got to look at the light diffuser on the ceiling. So I killed that one, started another one. There are 9 of you here. I'm already breaking my fucking Facebook record. Javier, hello, sir. Joe Pastilli, hello. Dustin, Cochera, Crystal Fox, John, Gary. Wow, like there's all kinds of people coming. You all need to let me know on your end at some point, not like right now, but at some point, let me know if like what you see on the screen is better than what you see on the Facebook screen and that kind of whatnot. Dustin, they got your barrel today. Good. The following barrel I sold, I am delivering tomorrow, hand delivered. Hello, Gabe. Hello, Tim. Hello, Josh. Steve. Some of you, I even know your fucking your fake YouTube names. Scary shit. Or you guys just aren't real good at having different ones across different platforms. Sound is much better. Hey, that's good to know, because none of the gear has changed. None of the settings are different. So that's good to know as well. People always tell me that Facebook's got some weird compression shit going on, and sometimes it makes the video. Or if Joe Murray mentions that 2 words that gets him cut off. I don't know. Tim, should you have different names? Like if you were a different name on Instagram as you were on Facebook, as you blah, 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 like it'd be harder for people, maybe the average Joe, to put it together, who's who. I don't do that, but I'm also like not trying to, and I'm using a fake name anywhere. It seems about the same number of people checking in, so there is a huge advantage. I don't have to keep scrolling the mouse to see the comments. They scroll up all by themselves. I just don't know if YouTube or the Facebooks is more popular. Javier says there's price gouging on ammo in Florida. There's not a lot of price gouging going on ammo here in Pennsylvania because nobody has any. So I'm not saying there couldn't be, just there isn't any ammo to sell, apparently. That's what I'm hearing. So I thought I'd try this Facebook or the YouTube thing. I asked you guys on Facebook, for those of you that are on the Facebooks on Tuesday, if you guys wanted a second one, and I thought I would try this one, and we'll see how it goes. Case 223 for 320. Nick shut down at 5:30 at the local. I heard that there was some purported outages with both picks and nicks. I coughed. It's the fucking Wuhan virus. I got sick in February. My trip to Illinois. And the person I got the sickness from tested negative for all flus. So whatever he had, he didn't know what it was. And so whatever I got from him wasn't the flu. And so I just have a hunch that this Wuhan thing's been going around for quite some time. Wuhan County, Illinois. Is there really a county called Wuhan? I don't know. Oh, so Illinois, Chicago was the hotbed where it showed up first. Remember, like the first place in the United States that it showed up was in Chicago. And just a couple weeks earlier, I was in Chicago with a bunch of sick motherfuckers doing a seminar, scofflaw stuff and whatnot. Today's live stream brought to you by the Rock God Brewing Company, Danville, Pennsylvania. They have, as of today, canned beer. I came in and got a couple 4-packs. This is the Jump Around. I think it's Irish Red or something like that. I prefer About a Girl, which is a blonde. I also got a growler filled up, which I am drinking out of over here. American Smart. Good call. CCHTJSet. Hey, Gary, what's up? Maybe I know what that code name means, but not much. What's up with you? Mike, good to see you checked in. People coughing gives me anxiety. People in general give me anxiety. So I have a bunch of cool stuff to talk about today. Not at all. It takes me like a whole week to come up with like 3 things to talk about on the Tuesday night scheduled live stream. So to throw one on Friday. Oh, Jim from Del Rio. Interesting handle there, Jimbo. But speaking of Texas, you can try out some Invader coffee. If you go over to tremisdynamics.com, there is a link that says Known Associates. One of those is for Invader coffee. If you click on it and buy coffee, I get a small referral from it. You don't have to, but if you like kick-ass coffee made in Texas by kick-ass Americans, I recommend Invader. Plus, they have rum-flavored coffee and whiskey-flavored coffee. Oh, the Mark 18 videos. They're not even remotely fresh, but you're most welcome. In fact, I would show you what that Mark 18 currently looks like. But apparently YouTube's got this weird thing going on where if you have a live stream and you show a firearm, you get a strike. I don't know why, but that's their rule. So it's sitting right there, like just out of frame. Because in today's world, like you don't go anywhere with a rifle, including over to my office, which is literally just upstairs in my house. Although soon, Walmart sells Jack Daniel's flavored coffee. Nice. Jason McConnell. Last I heard from the folks at LCPC, they were staying open because fuck all that. They're not even a business. Where was I with the... Oh, now I remember. I said about being over here in my office, which is just upstairs. I am in the process, starting roughly tomorrow for some planning, to take another room in the floor above me and set it up just for video. So it'd make my life a little easier than having to do office shit and video shit in the same room. So where were we? I'm catching up. Joe, why did they? No idea. I am not a district attorney. I don't charge people. Well, there you go, Jason. We've got a director from the club telling you straight up they're going to stay open no matter what. Well, here's a good thing, Javier. They say that there's a bazillion new gun owners like this week. Good. Because that means that there's a bunch of people that are like their eyes are being opened, we should welcome them to the club. You know, maybe take them by the hand and help them get their shit squared away, send them the right direction for some training, send them the right direction for what gear to get. Like, and we can start molding them into responsible, good American gun owners. So we should look at this as an opportunity to promote freedom loving, liberty minded Americans to act like it. So we got people that are like, now I think I need a gun. We're like, great. Now we can help you get squared away on everything else. So that's my thought on it. Oh, let me check off my list for mentioning Invader Coffee. You know why I mentioned them? Not because I get a little kickback if you buy coffee through my link. It just happened to be the shirt that I changed into. I was wearing a different one earlier, but I went down to Rock God Brewing, and they had a barbecue truck outside, you know, like a food truck. And I got a pulled chicken sandwich and then had like pulled chicken all over my shirt, like the barbecue stuff. So I had to change shirts, grabbed an Invader, was like, hey, I can mention the Invader thing. So Jane Cobb, PA, stopping alcohol sales. Well, so here's a quaint little anachronism. Pennsylvania liquor stores are owned and operated by the state of Pennsylvania. Has been that way since Prohibition was lifted a fucking 100 years ago. So they just told their employees, close the door and go home. It isn't a private business. However, places that sell beer are six-pack stores sell beer, you know, like cases and shit, or distributors. They're still open. 6-pack stores are selling to go. I stopped in at Rock God Brewing today, got some cans and filled a growler to go. So that was all right. Jay, I don't think you're going to get panic buyers to train today. But like when this all blows over, they're going to be sitting there going, man, I just bought this fucking Taurus Millennium G7 or whatever the fuck the thing is. And that's your opportunity to say, well, what were you going to do with that thing? And we're like, I don't know. I just had it. You can kind of start pushing them a little towards, you know, appreciating their liberty and whatnot. Josh, that's awesome that you offered that. I mean, let's be honest. We all know things that they don't, and technically, like that's knowledge we paid for, we could charge for, and hell, I make a living doing that. So it's great when people are like, look, I'll give it to you for nothing. I just need you to be a better you. Ray picked up some I fucking reading his name. His name's Jeff. Jeff picked up some a growler as well. Good deal. Grocery stores sell alcohol. Well, it depends on where you're at. Grocery stores here sell beer, and some do wine, but not all of them do wine. I don't know why that is. Blake Chin, hello, sir. But as for liquor, here in PA, that is handled strictly by the state stores. I don't know what the fuck they're technically called. But yes, you can get beer here currently, and I recommend Rock God Brewing. Did I mention them? They are the official sponsor of tonight's live stream, and at least one of the owners is watching said live stream. So make sure they know they got their money's worth today. There's a movement going around to support your local small business, and I'm a big fan of doing that anyway. But right now, small businesses are the ones who don't have a large stockpile of cash just waiting to ride out any storms. Like my wife works for a big company, and all the stores are closed globally for at least the next 2 weeks. But for the next 2 weeks, all the employees are getting paid, not just the salaried people, because they're large enough to have a big chunk of change sitting on the bank. Your local small business probably does not. They probably run their business closer to how you run your household. Some people, that's paycheck. It's a small cushion, but not a very big one. So if you can grow up. I'm reading comments and now I'm saying them. If you can support your local small business, now the employees are hurting. One of those, now is the time to do so. One of the ones I saw doing this recently, which you guys may know of, is Warrior. They are, and they're southeastern Pennsylvania, maybe Quakertown area, kind of, maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head where exactly they're at. I don't really know anybody there. I'm like Facebook friends with the owner, and that's as close to knowing them as I got. But they are doing a thing where other local businesses, they are promoting them on their website. Not local, they're just other small businesses. And so they make t-shirts. And if you've ever watched my channel, you've probably seen me wearing some of their shirts. They have links and whatnot to other clothing companies who make, like their competitors, who also make shirts, because they want other small businesses to remain afloat. I thought that was pretty all right. So if you have a chance to buy any cool shit from Warrior Culture Gear, I don't have a link handy or anything, but like you're on the Googles already, so just type that shit in there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they're running a sale, like buy two get one free currently for a couple days or something like that. But I'm saying if you have a chance to help that small business, it's a good thing to do, because right now they're trying to help other small businesses. All right, now I'm gonna catch up on some stuff. I crashed YouTube. Shit, it's still showing on my end. Still 29 motherfuckers on here. Jane Cobb, training in Indiana. I haven't been to Indiana in probably 2 years. I got some friends in the Indianapolis area who keep striking out big when it comes to finding a range to host. I'm looking at doing a seminar there. At this point, I'm not sure when, because like everything's kind of been put on hold, but I have secured a venue to do a non-live fire event. So that is coming. I just don't know when. Sorry, you guys are hitting interruptions in the video. I probably has something to do with bandwidth is at a premium with everybody at home. Sorry, I wish I had a way to fix it, guys, for the freezing. Sorry. All right, guys, if you're having an issue, it looks like some folks are saying that if they reload the page, it fixed it. So if that's the case, try that. You probably won't miss much. Mr. Cobb, when it happens, I will certainly be posting some links. My plan is to go visit a bunch of friends, like leave my house and go south and work my way around a little bit, and maybe squeeze a live fire class or two in there as well, which means there's a lot of moving parts to integrate. But at the tail end of that, I definitely will be hitting Indiana, so the links will be out there. I'm trying to catch up. Large stockpile of cash. John, doesn't your business have like huge stockpiles of cash just waiting? All right. Well, Blake, the classes coming up in Del Rio shortly are like about a month away, and I'm going to say there's the potential for that to be interrupted by things like travel restrictions and whatnot. So, like, I already have plane tickets and that kind of thing. I'm just hoping that like nothing interferes with coming down there in April. So we'll hopefully make it there. Actually, John, I'm kind of a sit-down comedian because, well, I'm not standing up. Although most people, when I stand up, you can't tell a difference from the sitting down anyway. So what else is going on? Let's see. I have a few more things on my list. I've been down here for 20 minutes already. Holy shit. I don't know about you guys on your end, but I'm looking at the viewers right there, and there are more people logged on to YouTube tonight than there is on my normal Tuesday night live streams. Thoughts on 22 training current ammo environment picture? Yes. Absolutely, you can and should use 22 in your training regimen. Like my son's M&P 1522 is sitting right over there. It's set up pretty similar to my rifle. Has a hollow sun on it instead of a MRO, and otherwise, like the hardware is mostly all the same. All the furniture and whatnot. No problem with using a 22 for most everything. Obviously, if you're taking like a DMR class where you're shooting like fucking hundreds of yards out there, it might not be the ideal replacement gun for that. But like a Smith & Wesson M&P 22, you can do a ton of live fire with that to replicate shooting with the regular M&P. I don't know about the Glock 44 because some people have had some issues. So, but I'm sure that'll get squared away shortly. Blake, if travel restrictions or anything of that nature puts a damper on Del Rio happening in a month, it will absolutely be rescheduled later. I am certainly not going to cancel any classes. For the students' benefit, I will rearrange them. For instance, in 2 weeks, we start Dynamic Week, and I have students who work in the healthcare field, work for the government at different levels, who have been told travel away from home, not going to happen. So I added a second Dynamic Week later in the year for the people who can't come to the first one. Now, for those of you that can come to the first one, it's still happening. And I took the spots from the guys that aren't coming and opened them back up on the website. So there's actually now spots for Dynamic Week in 2 weeks. I know it's real short notice to do a 6-day class. I am going to try and help the round count some instead of 1,000 of each. I'm going to try and cut that down so we can still get what we need to with maybe a few less bullets needed. And the Dynamic Week later in the year, date's not yet released. The people that are coming already know, the people that have already paid. That's going to have a few spots open too. So later in the fall, you'll have some time to get the other Dynamic Week at the same cost. Hashtag molecules. Live in the meme. Username 3544. Shooting 22 versus dry firing. I agree with Jane Cobb. Why not do both? The great thing about dry fire is you don't even need to leave the house to do it. You could be sick from fucking Wuhan virus and stay home and dry fire practice. My recommendation with dry fire practice is you work on all the things that don't involve pressing the trigger. There's a ton of gun handling that people suck at. And in class, when I have new shooters, it's usually not the ability to put the sights on the target and press the trigger that gets in the way of them being successful. It's all the things that happen before and after that cause them issues. Those are the things you can practice super easy at home. And then the 22, when you get to the range, you can affordably practice the sights and the trigger press to keep the sights in place. So both sounds pretty good, and none of them require expensive 9mm or 45 or whatever weird caliber you might shoot. So yeah, if you don't own a 22, dry fire the fuck out of stuff. There's a Japanese kid. They don't have like firearms in Japan. They love airsoft. So dude practiced using airsoft and dry fire with his airsoft to with like race guns, like race airsoft guns with like a Seymour and a whatever, and came over here and like won shit. Like he won real competitions. Like he landed and like his dude picked him up, took him to the range and goes, here, you can see your very first real firearm. And they practiced a couple days with a real gun, and then he went and won like some major like steel shooting competition. So not spending money on ammo, there is a way to enhance your skills. Johnny Charles, website. The old website was tremis.us. If you type that in, it still goes there. but it just sends you to tremisdynamics.com. And yes, I'm still in Pennsylvania. I do almost all of my classes in Pennsylvania in Lebanon. So center, left to right, south on the north to south. I'm there a bunch. So not a ton of classes on the schedule. I'm still at the range a lot, but I have at least a class per month at that range. And when you go to tremisdynamics.com, like there's a giant calendar in the middle, which you can look through for dates if you like the calendar view, or you can go up and click classes, and there's 2 to 3 day classes, 1 day workshops, and then seminars are kind of all over the place. TJ says he saw the airsoft dude. I was impressed, like that you can get good without actually having a gun in your hand. Like he really epitomized that. Adam Hall, hello, sir. Tied for my second favorite Hall behind Stephanie. I suck at pronouncing your name, Guyan. Hello, sir. I'm trying to catch up on comments here. I had to scroll back up. Yes, 7.62x25 is a weird Russian collusion cartridge. And it might be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but like I'm not running anything but 9mm because fucking it's everywhere. Everybody has it. I don't mean like on the store shelves, because apparently no store shelves have 9mm, but I can find a dude, like if I just throw a rock, I'll hit a guy that owns 9mm. So John Charles, thank you, sir. Whoa, Adam. I didn't say you beat Zach. I said tied for second. Tied for second. So you're tied with someone. Could be Zach. So what else is going on? Anything else to talk about? I did this. Some of you saw the pictures. I did my M&P #1. I had stippled the fuck out of it, carved on the grip, made it awesome. And then recently I cut the grip down to take 15-round magazines. And while I was there, I did a silicon carbide grip texture thing. And so I did it yesterday to a Magpul grip. And it's essentially like epoxied on skateboard tape. And it's going to get on that rifle right there tomorrow. Or, well, I got shit to do tomorrow, so maybe not tomorrow. But I'm totally digging it. I got just ordered some more from the Amazons. Use clear epoxy to paint it on, and then 4670 is the dual grit of this, but I just ordered some 6090, I think. So a little finer grit, and see what we might be able to do. And try some different grip textures. But I can see me being done with stippling entirely, and just like fucking everything's going to get the silicon carbide. I just got to make sure which grit I prefer. So I ordered a couple. Jake Knott, hello, sir. Yes, we're working on that ship. I don't know, Jay. I'm not sure if you show a picture of a gun, if you get a strike. I don't know. I don't have a picture of a gun to show you. Maybe for the next one, I'll print one up or have it on like an iPad or something I can show. We'll see. I don't even know how they find it. I don't know if someone has to report it or if like there's an algorithm that looks for the shape of a gun. In which case, maybe my fucking finger will. Or maybe they're listening for the words and I keep saying the word gun. So it's going to make them come look at it because I say gun so much. But when I logged on to to YouTube, there was a big memo said that nobody from Facebook is at work. So it'll take them longer to get to stuff. So maybe now is the time to show all the fucking guns because there isn't anybody to watch. No flag on the wall tonight. It's hanging over that way. I had taken it down like 2 live streams ago to put up a Defiant Munitions sticker, which started to peel up. And so I took that down and just didn't get a chance to put anything up. Although that's something else I wanted to mention was, and maybe I already did, that I'm going to take a room upstairs, a larger room, and basically turn it into a studio so that I don't have to have all these stupid lights in my office all the time, or take them up, put them down, and set tripods up, take them down. I can just leave it all set up. So maybe there'll be more videography happening. Either way, that's the thing that's coming. Use an iPad to play a YouTube video of a gun during. Man, Josh, you're getting fucking technical. It's like the movie Inception. Gary, I don't know about how long it will take to wear down the grippy on the grippiness, but I'm going to put this on my go-to rifle. I got shit to do tomorrow, so maybe not tomorrow. It might not be to the next day, but then we'll see. We'll see how long it takes for it to wear off. Yeah, so it's not a recording studio, TJ. But yes, home studio. I agree. Somewhere where it's just set up to do the work you want to do. So I'm thinking about having basically like I don't use the camera I film YouTube videos with is not the camera I live stream with, and there's technical reasons why. I use the better camera for YouTube regular videos I do, and I use a Handycam or a Vexia Canon like handheld camcorder for the live streams. I'm thinking I can just leave them both set up independent of each other and do either one whenever I want, which will make my life way easier. Going back up here because Tim asked about bolt carrier groups. So I did a video on some time ago, the Gemtech suppressed bolt carrier group. And in the video, I basically said that this thing's really awesome. And it has been really awesome. I threw some pictures up on Instagram, Facebook a couple days ago, cleaned a rifle, and it had that bolt carrier in it, the one from the video. And it had roughly 2,000 rounds of suppressed ammo run through it. I applied some ALG very thin grease around the 1,200 round mark, maybe 1,100, somewhere in that neighborhood. And took the bolt carrier out, put it on the rails, and squirted some into the cam pin, threw it back in. It was very pasty with carbon and shit, super fucking thick, still running fine. And took it apart, cleaned it up, put it back together, and loved that bolt carrier. They made a 308 one for a little while, and the offer still stands. If you have one of those, a 308 Gemtech suppressed bolt carrier, I don't need the bolt. It doesn't come with one, but if you have one, it might have a bolt in it. But for that bolt carrier, I will trade $1,000 worth of classes for said bolt carrier. So you can have a lot of class for a bolt carrier if you want to trade. But the 5.56 bolt carriers, typically a direct impingement gun, suppressed 300 to 500 rounds, and you're going to need to clean it. It's going to start giving you issues. 2,000 rounds is what I was at this week. The very first time I made it 1,800 rounds before it started giving me issue. So it's pretty awesome. And Silencer Shop had the 5.56 ones in stock last night. And they're out of stock today. So this link isn't, or this video isn't a go buy one. They're all gone. A bunch of my friends have some on the way, and they're lucky. Even if you don't have a can right now, they don't make them very often. So you should buy one when you see one. So if you ever plan on getting a can or shooting a gun with a can, you want that bolt carrier in the gun. So if you have an opportunity to get one, you should snake it up and hold on to it for later. It has an unsuppressed setting, so you could just use it too. But I have a second one on its way from Silencer Shop. I got the shipping notification today. It's going to go in my recce rifle, and it'll probably just go to the unsuppressed setting and stay that way until I find a gun to put a permanent mount another can on. And if I do, it'll probably be a Midwest Industries gun. All right. So there's that. I'm not putting that grip on tomorrow because I am going to a lodestone training and consulting class to work with these guys. The class is called Communications on the X, and it is not about setting up a ham radio network. It is about having a comms plan to use with your radios. My understanding is that's going to be like intra-squad communications, and inter-squad communications is kind of what I am under the impression the class is about. There might still be openings. It's tomorrow at 1 in E-Town. Josh has one in the gun he ran at Don's class. They're great. Yes, they are. They're fantastic. And Mike, what buffer do I run on my SBR? An H2. I also run an H2 in every gun in the house because it works in everything. Like, I haven't had a gun not work with an H2. So then since it works across the board, I just buy H2s. Adam, I'm sure that class does travel. Tomorrow is the first running of it. When I see him tomorrow, I will ask if the class travels and see what he says about it. Maybe down into the Tennessee region. I have some places and some people down there that can probably hook me up with a place to do that class. So could very well be a traveling class. I don't think he's against that idea. Although it might have to wait for a few weeks because the fucking world's on fire. Check that off. So the only thing I got left that I wanted to talk about was I wonder if a blue gun is a strike on the YouTubes. Maybe I should just take the blue gun out because it's the other part I want to show you. So I have in front of me a prototype holster that Steven's Concealment, who was watching this live stream earlier, made for me. I drove up to his place and said, hey, I got some ideas on a new holster. And he said, I have Kydex. You want a beer? And then we went to work. So we ended up with this prototype holster, which was in black because black is the cheapest Kydex that you can get. And if we're making a prototype, it doesn't have to be fantabulous. It just needs to function. And so we tried some stuff, cut some things, bent some things, tried it again, and got essentially the same as my third generation holster with the pretty far spread wide belt loops and the tie-off point for running it in a Hill People Gear recon chest kit thing or a fanny pack. Plus, we took one of them stupid claws off of a appendix holster and put it on a belt holster. And I'm totally digging it. And I'm taking possession of the first production run tomorrow from Steven. So I will have one from every gun model is made. We'll take some pictures and they'll be for sale within the next couple of days. So they're only going to be gray with a yellow eyelet and only for a few guns, et cetera, et cetera. So that's coming up soon. Just a hint, that's what the prototype looks like. So that'd be the 4th generation Tremis signature holster. So that checks everything off on my list. And I'll take this blue gun, stuff it back in that holster, and set it over there. See, he's still here. He saw it. It's the first time I've publicly shown the prototype. And only that's all you get out of the prototype because I'll have the nicer looking ones to show you all tomorrow. Is there a way to take a rifle class with a rifle that I have assistance building with people that should be building said rifle from? What I think Blake is asking is a rifle build class followed by a rifle class. And strangely enough, Don Numbers and I of Numbers Defensive Solutions have talked about doing a combination class about like a, I don't know, we discussed like an armorer's class, but then kind of made it more towards a build class followed by a rifle class where I could help him with the teaching of the build class. Then I would take over for the rifle class and he would assist me with that. Not that he isn't perfectly capable of doing a rifle class, but we're trying to find something to do together. And so we're thinking about that. Dustin G48 with a question mark. Are you asking if you should buy one or if they're good? I don't know what you mean. I'm sure it's a fine gun. I have not had 10 of them in class to see if they make it on the list or not, although Glock makes a good gun. I had the 43X, which is similar to the 48. I borrowed one to put an Apex trigger in, and it seemed like a fine gun. But for a gun the size of the 43X, I would rather have a SIG 365 because it's smaller and holds more bullets because it's magic. They're literally like, they make it with unicorn parts and rhinoceros horns and stuff. Oh, wants to know if the Tremis holster will be available for the 48. No. It will be available for a Glock 19, which you could stuff a 26 in it, but it's still length for a 19. It will be available for a full-size 1.0 M&P, which means you can put a M&P compact in it, either first or second generation. It will be sized for a SIG 365, for a shield, and for a SIG 320. That's it. That's the whole everything. Because those are the guns that have made it onto my recommended list. So while the 43X and 48 are a potential in the future, someone needs to start bringing them to class so that I can put them on the list. Nick L. So the fellow that you're referring to, last time I talked to his brother was like a week ago or so, maybe 10, 12 days. I don't know. The current Wuhan thing has kind of skewed my number of days. And while he is not like recovered, he is showing improvement from the last time that I got an update. So if you're a praying kind of guy, more prayers would be well appreciated. There is still a GoFundMe available. If you would like to help out financially, it's still there. By all means, please do so. We sent a couple $1,000 from the raffle we did. So we're hoping that that helps a little bit as well, offset the cost of a pretty major lifestyle change. But it did sound like there was some hope for more improvements with some different surgery things that Darren might be eligible for. So, lots of good thoughts, prayers, wishes for that to continue to improve as well. Brian is right. Signature holster only for the signature approved. Yes, they have them for a shield. And you can always bring that G48 to class so that I can get some more data on it. And because really the only thing it takes is to get on the approved list, 10 unique examples of a pistol to make it through a 2-day 1,000 round class with no issues other than ones we set up on purpose. Once 10 of those do, they get on the approved list. If one of them fails, for every one that fails, I need 10 more additional. So if 9 fail, I need 90 more, which really, if 9 out of 10 fail, it ain't ever fucking making it anyway. So if you bring one, we can help get it on the list. Favorite scented candle. I keep hearing about this Gwyneth Paltrow candle, but I don't know anything about it. So otherwise, I guess, are there rum plus scented candles? That would be pretty all right. Bryant makes some kick-ass holsters. They're super nice. Bryant is one of a number of holster makers that I think make kick-ass shit. He's local to me, so that was important. Like every holster I've ever recommended, the people making the holster have been my student, and that holds true for Bryant as well. Bryant made it super easy to drive over and say, these are the things I'd like to try. And he was like, dude, I'm game. Let's try it. So it was awesome that he made himself available to hook a brother up like that. Yeah, I'm hoping to try some of your good rum too, Blake, because, well, rum is good and stuff. All right. I got everything on my list checked off. Oh, since I did make this the Wuhan live stream, I will tell you all something. I looked today. I have an area rug. Currently, it's hanging up in my closet. I'm trying to get the creases out of it because it was folded up to be sent here instead of rolled up. But it come from China. The Chin people made me a rug. When I ordered the rug, it was January something, and they had told me that the people who had designed the rug said that as soon as the Lunar New Year was over and they were back at the factory, they would submit the design. And because I saw like a computer rendition, they didn't have one. Once the design was prototype, they would approve or disapprove and go through that steps, and then they put it in production and ship it out. Well, then right around the new year, I get an email saying that the workers aren't allowed to go back to the factory until February 20th. So I was like, all right, so they're not even going to prototype it till February 20th. I got the rug, the area rug, last week from China, from the Wenzhou province, or Wenzhou is the city. I think Wenzhou is the city. And they didn't even prototype it till at least February 20th. So from February 20th and under a month, they prototyped it, approved it, printed them or manufactured them, whatever you call it, for making an area rug, and then shipped it across the country. So I know there's a huge concern about supply chains, but there are people working 850 kilometers away from Wuhan shipping things over here. So they've been back to work enough to submit a design, prototype it, approve it, make the production runs, and mail them in a month. So they're obviously making shit. Plus, minus, whatever, however you view that. That is how that stands, coming from the city of Wenzhou, which is about a 10.5-hour drive from Wuhan. Because I looked it up, I wanted to know. And then, of course, we steam clean the area rug to kill any Wuhan virus. Jason, great. Bring the 43X. I like it. Does Dawn Numbers have a YouTube channel? I am pretty sure he still has the MF Armor YouTube channel. He might have a Numbers Defensive YouTube channel. I'm horrible with following people on YouTube, so I can't promise you that. But for some reason, I'm pretty sure he does. Oh, Adam's got shipping notification for an antenna straight from China. So yeah, I don't know like fucking how many trillions of people died over there, but let's be honest. The Chinese government views its citizens as a natural resource. You consume them at will and for the greater good of whatever. So it is not surprising to me that they don't really fucking care that people are dying. Like it's irrelevant to them. It's no different than mining iron ore. Like you get the ore out of the ground, and you throw it in a big fucking fire to make steel out of it, they don't care that they used up the iron ore, just like they don't care if they use up people. So I'm not surprised that they've got things moving again. Picture of the rug. I can't really like take the camera that's set up. Like it's literally in a ring light. So I do have a picture of the rug over on my personal Instagram, which not everybody can see. But I will. I don't have my phone on me, or I'd take a picture of the rug hanging there and then show it to you. But my phone's not here. It's downstairs, I think. Or, well, it's somewhere. It's not with me. But I will, on my next live stream, show a picture. In fact, I'll make it the thumbnail. It will be the picture of the rug. Knife from Finland in 3 days. A Finnish knife, like a Viking knife. I like it. Yeah, Jay, there's no picture of a gun on the rug. I'll tell you what the rug is. For all the nerds and dorks out there. Oh yeah, I can put a picture on the YouTube. Good call, Eric. There's like a community section. So when I get off of this, I will go grab my phone, take a picture, and put it in the community section where you can make like text posts and the picture posts. Good call. So the rug is, I don't know, 4 by 6 foot or so. And it is a map of a continent from a series of books I read in the 7th grade. So for those Dungeons and Dragons style dorks out there, in the 7th grade, I read the 2 main trilogies from the Dragonlance saga, and I got a map on the area rug, and it's going to go in my upstairs studio on the floor. It'll look cooler once I have it on the floor and the creases are out of it, but I will take a picture of it and throw it on there so y'all can see my dork rug. But it's a great thing about being, in your 40s. You have enough money to waste on a rug that is a giant map from a book you read 30 years ago, but you have the money to do so, and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to relive my childhood. I thought it looked pretty good, TJ. Like, I'm just not gonna lie. I thought it looked cool. And they have them for like all the different like Dungeons and Dragons campaign settings. No, they showed it was on an advertisement on Facebook, and they showed a map of the Forgotten Realms campaign setting. I don't know what that continent is called. I don't remember. And I was like, man, if you had the Dragonlance setting, and poof, they said, you mean like this? And they did like a computer mock-up. And I was like, yes, I'll order one today. And like an hour later, they had it on the website, and I clicked order. So that, when I say they hadn't had a prototype, they literally, at my request, took the map and made a computer mock-up, and they couldn't submit it to the mill or whatever makes the rug until the end of February. Well, you can tell Christy I will approve the Instagram request once I get to my phone, which might be over there. But you got to wait till the live stream's done. I thought it was a pretty cool rug. It's hanging up in a fucking closet at the moment because they folded that thing up like 4 by 6 foot area rug, the size of a pillow. So it was all like compressed and like vacuum sealed in a bag. And so when I open it, there was some pretty hard creases, and I'm just letting it hang to try and, let gravity pull the crease out more so than laying it flat. I don't think that will stretch it as much as hanging. And my wife said we could steam clean it or iron it. But since it's printed on, I don't know how that'll work, because it might be, like a heat transfer. I don't know how they print area rugs. Yes, TJ, I can verify they are real. Oh, here's the deal. Like, when anytime there's one of them Chinese things, where you're like, fuck, this is like wish.com. I don't know if it's safe to make the order. I always pay with my PayPal because I figure if I don't hear anything from them in like a reasonable amount of time, I'll just PayPal dispute. And PayPal is so in favor of the buyer versus the seller that this is why I don't take PayPal as a payment. That you get your money back guaranteed. Like it's almost like a guarantee that they will give you your money back. So I risked it, and it's cool. So I'm glad I did. Search YouTube Tarava Shrama. Badass chopper. All right. I will do my best to take a search for it the moment I'm done on the YouTubes, which will be just in a few minutes because it's 55 minutes in. I try to keep these things to an hour or under. So I've had more engagement in the comments and more viewers on YouTube than I normally do on Facebook. I do not have the hardware set up or software set up, I should say, because you can do it either way, to live stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I can either run multiple cameras and multiple computers to do that, or multiple phones if you want to use a phone, or you can get some not cheap software to do it off of one computer where simulcasts on different stuff, which I wasn't going to spend the money on because like nobody makes money off fucking live streams when they ramble on about gun shit. So, for future reference, I'm going to try another YouTube one. I'm not saying I'm going to cancel my Tuesday nights on Facebook. I might just add some YouTube stuff to it and see if it's survival of the fittest. One of them ends up more popular than the other. I guess the good news is you can open another tab and fucking scroll through Facebook while you listen to me ramble. But if you guys noticed better quality or worse quality with YouTube versus Facebook, for those of you that follow normally, let me know. If there's no quality difference, if it's just easier for you to be on a whole different platform than Facebook, let me know, and we'll try and make it easier for you guys. I'm going to try to do more of these since we're all fucking trying to, stay in the house and we're bored as fuck. So I'll try and do a little more of these and maybe we'll entertain each other. Brian Marks, what happened to the stipple gun lube at tourniquet challenge you were going to do? It was done. It was done originally in Illinois a couple of years ago to so much success that is now done in day 3 pistol every time I run it. So it is there. You can come do it in class. I do it. You do it. Everybody does it. And there's a lot to learn about. So, it is there. It happens all the time. I have not done a video on it. I have taken video of it multiple times. I can get, a winter one and a summer one because I have the video. But I do it in class, and the name of the drill is called "Fuck Me Running." So there's that. And Steve Furman says the drill sucks. It absolutely sucks. Apparently, I have a pistol drill, a carbine drill, and now a shotgun drill that people fucking hate. So there's Fuck Me Running in day 3 pistol. There is the motherfucker in the second day of dynamic carbine, and blunder burpees are in day 1 of dynamic blunderbuss. So, why are comments disabled on your videos? I do not have time to come back and moderate any of them. I don't it was a giant draw of my time to even come read them, let alone answer some of them. So it was easier to just disable them instead of letting other people use my videos as a platform to deliver their message. So I might do a video on a Streamlight flashlight, and then I get other people who come on and use the comment section to promote Olight flashlights. And if I don't nip that in the bud, it's assumed that I'm okay with Olight flashlights because I didn't stop the guy from advertising on there. So it was easier for me, instead of trying to keep track of it all, just to disable them because I don't come over to YouTube and deal with it. If that makes sense. The line around your face, or around your face. Well, there might be a line around your face. I don't know. The smile on your face for the line around the block is awesome. Not only is it like, hey, I've already been there, and I did that a long time ago. So you want to pat yourself on the back, but those are potential new liberty-loving gun owners that can be on your side. And they might not be the liberty-loving gun owners that you want on your side today, but later in the future, like they've already made that step. Like they took the first step. Now it's just up to us to get them the rest of the way where we want them so that they have a gun and they want it for the right reasons. So that's our job. All right. So I'm at 1 hour and 15 minutes. I'm ready to punch out. Some of you guys I will see tomorrow at the comms seminar, and the rest of you I will see the next time I check in. Actually, Jane, I had disabled them sometime before, and one of my friends convinced me to turn them back on, and I had them on for, I don't know, like 2 weeks, and I just turned them back off again. Again, like I just don't have time to come over and deal with them. Agreed. They made their fucking bed. I mean, I don't want them to suffer. I don't want the typical gun owner to suffer, but fucking California needs to get its shit together. All right. So with that, I'm punching out. I will see some of you tomorrow. I'll see the rest of you later. And I'll remember to post a picture of the rug in a few minutes right here on the YouTubes. Take it easy, fellas.